often when you're playing a hand, you see that yes, the opponent has again c-bet into you on the flop and you've not hit, and you're like, oh my god, I'm going to let this hand go. Well, this stat is called Flop CBET, and this statistic refers to the amount of times your opponent actually makes a continuation bet on the flop after raising pre-flop. This stat further needs to be divided into 3-bet pots, into single raised pots, and in position, out of position situations as well. It's a very complex spot actually, but what we'll do is we'll make a general note of this. In position, usually when you're playing a single raise pot, you should be making a high c-bet. While when you're out of position, a lower sized flop c-bet might work for you. When you're playing out of position in 3-bet pots, a high flop c-bet or a low flop c-bet, both can work. Because this particular stat involves large number of fluctuations, it's very difficult to make an accurate pinpoint of the frequency, and so it's important to get a general idea of how your opponent is playing and then take a move accordingly. There are no fixed number of samples for this, but at least 1,000 hands is needed to start making some level of accurate reads on what should your next move be. While we are discussing flop c-bet, we should also discuss fold to flop c-bet. What does this stat mean? Well, this stat actually indicates that how often your opponent actually folds once you make a c-bet on the flop. This is after having called pre-flop. Overall speaking, the frequency of folding to a flop c-bet should be usually lower, less than 50%. This stat, when mixed with flop c-bet, actually helps you understand and make a smarter read on a particular player. You can actually use this stat to understand how often a player probably just calls pre-flop, and then once they do not hit, they fold. This will help you in understanding that should you give them merit on their particular calls or not. That is all from all these 10 statistics to be used on your HUD. I hope you use them diligently and see a massive improvement in your play. Thank you for watching all our videos.